are unsettling facts about your country. That is insane to me. Along with this, in China, they have a one-child policy. You're going to be thrown straight into prison. So, for being gay, the government chemically castrated him after the war was finished. In today's video, I'm going to be going over uncomfortable facts that your country's done in their history. Starting off at number 1, we've got England. On the back of the £50 note, there is a man named Alan Turing. Alan helped break the Nazi Enigma code. This is pretty much like Morse code, but 10 times more difficult. And he figured it out, helping England defeat the Nazis. I would argue he's one of the vital reasons why we actually won the war. However, there's one thing about Alan that most Brits didn't like at the time. He was gay. So, for being gay, the government chemically castrated him after the war was finished. So on one hand, he had a vital part to play in saving England, but the other hand, he was gay. So the government just chemically castrated him. Which then led to him unfortunately taking his own life in 1954. To me, that's crazy. They should have never chemically castrated him. I mean, he's just gay, leave him alone. Now moving on to number 2, we have Australia. On December 17th, 1967, their president went missing. Harold Holt, the president of Australia, disappeared in the sea while swimming near the Port Sea area. An enormous search party was created to try and find him, but they couldn't find him. His body has never been recovered. There's a lot of conspiracies on what happened to him. Some people think he got eaten by a shark. Some people think he got taken for ransom. But to this day, nobody knows where the president went. Moving on to number 3, we have China. In China, Facebook is banned. I don't think they have TikTok either. They've just got alternate social media accounts and stuff. It's something to do with the government and how they don't want, like, information being leaked, but that's just weird. But I say this because they have a rehab facility for internet addiction with over 632 million users, with 24 million of those being children. 632 million people have entered a rehab facility in China online. That is insane! Along with this, in China, they have a one-child policy. I'm pretty sure it's still around now. It was introduced in the 1980s to help population control, and in 2007, 36% of the population was subject to this policy, and only 53% of the population were allowed to have 2 children if their first child was a girl. Oh, and this fact isn't unsettling, it just blew my mind. 45 million chopsticks are used every day in China. Every day! How do they have this much material? Every day! Now moving on to number 4. Is it number 4 or number 5? I don't know. Let's say number 4. We have India. Now India is a great country, however, they are quite poor. 1 in 5 people in India live below the poverty line. This means that 270 Indians live below the poverty line. And considering they have a population of about 1.4 billion, that is a lot. Another thing to mention about India is that they're the most invaded country ever, which is crazy to me because they're massive and they've got so many people, but they just seem to just get invaded. I feel bad for them. Yet India, according to Google, has never invaded a country in the last 100,000 years. So they're just getting bullied at this point. Indians, I hope you're okay. Number 5, we have America. Most Americans are up to their eyeballs in debt. The average American owes $38,000 of debt. That is insane to me. And the nation as a whole owes $4 trillion in consumer debt. 4 trillion! That's like 12 zeros. Maybe even more. That is a lot of zeros. The US also has the largest prison population in the whole world, which again is crazy because they only have a population of 300 million, whereas India and China have over 1 billion. And yet they still have more people in prison than them. For every 100,000 citizens, 724 of which are in prison. That is crazy. The number of total prisoners is 2.2 million. And obviously also America has a lot of... In number 6, we have Germany. Germany also had the ideology that blonde hair and blue eyes was technically the perfect bad person. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get demonetized. Which didn't really make sense because, you know, the leader guy, I'm also not going to say his name, didn't have either of them qualities, but, you know, moving on. Okay, and last but not least, we have the country of subscribe. please subscribe. Just subscribe. But for real, we've got Dubai, the last country we're going to be going over. In Dubai, it is illegal to do any sort of illegal drugs. Obviously. They have a zero tolerance policy to all drugs that are considered illegal. And if you're caught doing any of these drugs, you're going to be thrown straight into prison. Also, in Dubai, there is no such thing as bankruptcy. Like, genuinely, if you go bankrupt, you go into jail. If you miss a few payments or can't afford to pay them, the odds are you're going to jail, which is crazy to me. You can't file for bankruptcy. And last but not least, premarital sex is very illegal. I'm going to go to Dubai and not break any laws. That wasn't very funny. So yeah, there's some unsettling facts about your country. 2,000 likes for a part 2. Bye.